A very good morning. We'll look into a topic called equivalence of context-free grammar and push-down automata. Like, if you are given a context-free grammar, how do you convert it to PDA? And if you are given a PDA, how will you convert it to a CFG? So first we will see how do you convert a context-free grammar into a push-down automata. Now, when I say converting it to a push-down automata, it means getting the transition function. If you turn back your pages, you will be finding a notation with delta. Okay, the transition function. So given a context-free grammar, how will you change it into a transition function stage of the push-down automata? Now we'll directly see it with the help of a problem. So please take down this question. You have a given grammar. S derives ASA, S derives BSB, S derives C, and S derives C. Okay. Now this is a context-free grammar. Okay. This they've told it is a context-free grammar. You will now need to convert it to an equivalent push-down automata. Okay, you will need to convert it to an equivalent push-down automata. Now, there are two very simple steps to convert it. One is, the first step is, right over here, the step number one is, for all the production rules, pop the elements. This is step number one. For all the production rules, you will have to do something called popping. Now, as you all know, when you think about PDA, you do have two main operations which happen. One is the push operation and one is the pop operation. Now, it is based upon this operations that you decide whether to accept the string or reject the string. When you do an equivalent PDA, you will be only writing about the popping stuff. Okay, so let's see how to do it. Now look here, how many production rules do you have? You do have 3 production rules. Now, when you have 3 production rules, you will have to write 3 equivalent transition functions. Now, if you remember, you do have something called the ID or instantaneous description. Instantaneous description for the push-down automata. Okay, where you will be having things like the start state, the input, the stack, top of the stack, and all that. Now you will be generating the PDA in the format of the instantaneous description. Okay, so now let's do one by one. Now I'm going to write my first production rule. Now before you start writing the production rules, imagine you have a stack. Imagine you have a stack, and your stack as of now is empty. You do not have anything inside your stack. So the first rule you write, okay, before you start writing these 3 production rules, you have to always write the initial state of your stack. So write it like this: delta. Now you assume you have a state called Q0. You can write any name. You can write A, B, C, Q1, Q2, anything. Anyway, I will start with an initial state called Q0. So, the first thing is nothing but my start state. Okay. The first thing which I write inside my function is my start state. So, I am starting at my initial state called Q0. Okay. And I am encountering and input. Okay, the second one will always be input. So the first thing what I encounter is epsilon or my null string, and then only, like, imagine you have a string number A, B, C. You will be encountering epsilon in the beginning. You will even be encountering epsilon at the end. So initially you are encountering epsilon, and my top of the stack also there's nothing. There's nothing in the top of the stack. So I write epsilon over here. This is actually my stack element. Okay, so my start state Q0, my input epsilon, and my stack, it has nothing. So epsilon equal to where are you transforming? Okay, you are not transforming to a new state. You are still in the Q0 state, and you are having epsilon now inside your stack. Okay, so be it whichever PDA, this will always be your first transition. Initially there's nothing, and then you are still in the Q0 state. Okay, so my initial state is over. Now I will start writing each of my production rules. Now first I am going to write my first production rule. Okay, so this is how you write it. Delta. I'm still in my Q0. I am still encountering epsilon. What is my symbol I'm encountering? I am encountering a symbol called S. Okay, you always enter for your production rules, you always encounter things on your left hand side. S equal to, you are not changing your state. Q0, comma, you will write whatever is on your right hand side. AS. Okay, so that is my next. My third one will be delta Q0, again epsilon. What do I have on the left? I do have S on my left, equal to Q0, and what do I have on my right? I have BS. Okay, now I encounter my next production rule, Q0 epsilon S Q0 small c. Okay, so these are your first 4 transition delta rules. Okay, equal to. So it means, like, you encounter S, it can either be this or this or this. You are still in the Q0. Okay, now these are my production rules. Okay, this is my initial state. I have written my production rules. All my production rules have been taken care of. That was my step number 1. Step number 2 is write for all poppings. Okay, write for all the popping. Now, as you all know, in a PDA, when do you pop? You pop when the top of the stack and the element which you encounter are the same. Imagine you had a B over here, and then you encounter a B, you will pop. Imagine you had a C on top, and then you encounter a C, C will be pop. So you always pop when you have the same elements. So now let us write the rules for popping. Okay, so Q0. When you encounter an input called A and the value in the stack is A, you will pop. As you all know, when you pop, you will write your instantaneous as epsilon. You will be going on to a new state called Q1. Okay, so from Q0, you are going into a state called Q1. Okay, now the next is you might encounter something called B. So, from my Q1, I might encounter a B. The top of my stack might be B. I pop and go to a new state. Similarly, I am now in my Q2. I might encounter a C. The top of the stack might be C. I will go on to a new state called Q3. That's it. This is now in my PDA form. My context-free grammar, which I had in this particular form. My context-free grammar, which I had in this particular form, I was able to convert it into a PDA, which is this. So the equivalent PDA for this CFG is nothing but this. And these are my forms. These are my forms. So there are only two steps. One is for all the production rules, you will write an equivalent function. And then for all the possible poppings you have, you will write an equivalent function. Now, let's see whether what we've written is correct or not. You can always check the correctness by giving an input string. Okay, so we'll just have a small question. Okay, you have a string. I'll go for a random string: A, B, B, C, B, B, E. Okay, you have a string called A, B, B, C, B, B, A. Check whether it is valid or not. Okay, check whether the given string A, B, B, C, B, B, A is valid or not. Now, what we need to do is you need to check whether what you have constructed. You have constructed a PDA. You will have to check whether the PDA you constructed is valid or not. So let's see how to do it. Now, to do validity checking with a given PDA, see, you can very much do it with this. You can derive with the help of this, but that is not what we want. What we want is you have made a PDA. You have made a PDA. We need to check whether the PDA you made is correct or not. That is what we want. You can always check validity with this, the grammar, but that is not what we want. We want to check whether the PDA you constructed is correct or not. Now, the easiest way to do that is you can have a 4-column table with state, 100 input, top of the stack, and transition number. So let's do it together. You can do it together with me so that you'll feel it easier. Initially, you will be in a state called Q0. And you have an 100 input. I've not read anything. Okay, I've not read anything. I have an input called A, B, B, C, B, A. I have an epsilon at the beginning. I will even have an epsilon in the end. Now, initially, my top of the stack will be epsilon. That is, I'll just write transition numbers over here so that, you can later check. Okay. Now, I am still in my Q0. Okay. And okay. Now, I am in my state Q0. And look here, the start symbol is S. Now, the start symbol is S means, you will be by default putting in S into your stack. And then, of course, I've not read anything. A, B, B, C, B, B, A. Okay. The top of my stack is S by default. I'm still in my state number 1. Now, look, the top of the stack is S. And I am planning to read A. The top of my stack is S, and I am planning to read A. Now come over here. Come to the table. Okay. The top of my stack is S, which means either 2 or 3 or 4. Okay. You can either go to step number 2 or 3 or 4. But the string or the character you need to read is A, which means only this is possible. Okay, out of 2, 3, and 4, only the transition 2 is possible because only that starts with A. Only that starts with A. So, I write over here, I'm still in my Q0. I have A, B, B, C, B, B, A. So, I change my S with the ASA, and that is my transition number 2. That is my transition number 2. Look here, I have an A, so which means, it is this particular step which is satisfied, isn't it? The top of the stack is A, even the input is A, which means I can pop it off. And which state will I be going into? I will be going into a state called Q1. Okay, I will have this particular thing. I will have SA, courtesy, step number 5. So, we are now in the state Q1 with the 100 input BB, CBVA, SAA. Okay, now look here. You are now planning to read B. And the top of the stack is S. Now look here. S means you can either go to 2, 3, or 4. But when you're planning to read B, you can only go for step number. Which is that step number? B is step number 3. Isn't it? B is step number 3. So, I am back in my Q0. I will have BB, C, BBA. Instead of S, I will have BSB followed by this A. B and B will pop out. Okay, step number 6. Step number 6, when I encounter a B and the top of the stack is B, I will pop out, and now I will go into a state called Q2. So I'll have BC, BBA, SBA, courtesy which step number? Step number 6. Okay, now on my top of the stack, I have S, which means again step number 2 or 3 or 4. I am encountering B, which means only step number 3. Okay, so which state am I back? I am back in my state called Q0. I will have BC, BBA. Instead of S, what will I write? Instead of S, I will write BSB, BA. Okay, this BA, I'm writing it down as it is. S, as they've told, I've replaced it with BSB. I will pop it out. Why am I popping it out? Because I do have a production rule number 6. As per production rule number 6, I will go into Q2 and I have CBBA, SBBA. Okay, the same thing again. On top of the stack, I have S, which means it can either be 2 or 3 or 4. But I am encountering C. I am encountering C means I am eligible only for step number 4. Okay, and I'm back into my Q0. C, B, B, A. Instead of S, I will have a C. C, B, B, A. Okay, top of the stack is C. My input is also C, which means I will be able to pop out courtesy step number 7. Okay, step number 7, I will be able to pop out BBA, BBA. So now I am in my in my transition state number Q3. Okay, top of the stack is B. My 100 input is B, which means, step number 6, I can pop out. Step number 6, I can, not step number 6, because of my 6th transition rule, I can pop out BA, BA. I will be in my transition state called Q2. Okay, top of the stack is B. My 100 input is B, which means, I can again pop out transition number 6. I am back in my Q2. A. Top of the stack is A. My 100 input is A, which means, step number 5, I can pop out. Because of step number 5, I can pop out. Okay. See, everywhere you have this epsilon, I will write it down. Okay, which means step number 5, you are in Q1. You have an epsilon over there. Okay, see, when you replace, epsilon is there everywhere. Okay, here also you will get an epsilon. This epsilon will continue everywhere. Top of the stack, you took out everything from the stack. You don't have anything into your stack, which means, the 100 input is epsilon. The top of the stack is also epsilon, which means you have reached the empty stack state. You have reached the empty stack state, which means this particular string is valid. This particular string is valid. So this is how you check validity of a string using your transition functions. Okay. So very well, you can even check whether the string is valid with your grammar. The string is valid both with your grammar and your PDA functions. What you have done, it is correct. Okay. If here you were able to prove it correct, and here if you are able to prove it wrong, this part went wrong. We'll do another problem. You have a given grammar. Find the equivalent PDA for the given CFG. Okay, you have 3 set of production rules. 3 set of production rules: S, X, and Y. Okay. So now let's try making the PDF for this. Now, as you all know, there are only 2 steps. One is write for all production rules, and the next is write for all the pops. That's it. Okay. So, I start writing for each and every production rule. So, you have 3 production rules. As I told you, the initial would always be your empty stack. Q0 epsilon epsilon will be equal to Q0 epsilon, the initial. Now, let us write for S. Q0 input is epsilon, top of the stack is S. Okay. Delta Q0 OSX, because S is OSX. But it can also be or. Just copy it as it is over there. You can either have this or the third one. Okay. Or it will be Q0 1SY. Or it will be Q0 epsilon. That's it. It can either be this or this or this. Okay. So that is my first one. The next is Q0 epsilon X equal to delta Q0. What is on my right hand side? 1. That's it. Okay. The third one is Q0 epsilon Y delta Q0 0. Now you have finished your step number 1. You have written equivalent for all the production rules. Now you will have to write for all the poppings. Okay, you have done for all the production rules. Now let's do for all the pops. Now look here very carefully. Which are the cases which you pop? Now when you look into this production rules, S, X, Y, S, X, Y, these are your non-terminals. These are your non-terminals or your variables. 0 and 1. These are your terminals. So very simple. You can pop off only your terminals. So 0, 1. Whenever you encounter a 0 and a 1, you will pop up. Because when you look over here itself, you can understand. Only the leftmost portion can be popped out. Okay. So I'll write for my pops. I will be writing for my pops. Q0. When I encounter a 1 and the top of the stack is 1, I will be popping and going into a new state. Similarly, when I encounter a 0 and the top of the stack is 0, I will be popping. That's it. So this is my equivalent PDA. This is my equivalent PDA for this particular grammar. Now, checking, you can do it yourselves. Okay, let's take a random string. Let's say 0. Okay, 0, 1, 1, 0. Okay, you can do this yourselves. Check whether this particular string is valid or not. Check the validity of this particular string. How do you check the validity? You will be making up a table like this, and then you will be checking the validity. Let's do one more. Find the equivalent PDA for the CFG. You have 2 production rules. Try doing it yourself. So you have got only 2 steps. One is write for all the production rules, and then write for all the poppings. Okay. So here, which all are your terminals? You can pop out only your terminals. Terminals are your 0 and 1, which you will be popping. Okay. So I'll write for my production rules first. Delta Q0 epsilon epsilon is equal to delta Q0, my initial. Okay. Now I'm writing for my production rules. Q0 epsilon S. Okay, equal to delta Q0 0 BB. My next one is delta Q0 epsilon BE is equal to delta. It can be either Q0 0S or it can be Q0 1S or it can be 0. That's it. Okay, so I've written for all my production rules. I just have 3 production rules. I've written for all my 3 production rules. Now I need to write for my poppings. Okay, as you all know, poppings are your terminals. It can either be 0 or 1. So when the top of the stack is 0 and you encounter 0, you will pop. Okay, top of the stack is 1, and then you encounter 1, then also you will pop. That's it. You have made an equivalent PDA. You can check for the validity of a string. You can do it yourself. Imagine you have a okay. You can check for validity of this. 000. Check whether it is valid or not. Find the equivalent PDA for the CFG. As we all know, you have only 2 steps. One is write for all the productions and then write for all the poppings. Okay. So what are the terminals over here? The terminals are 0, 1. It's very easy to find out all the terminals. Everything other than capital letters are terminals. Okay. Everything other than capital letters will be terminals. So you just need to pop for 0 and 1. Okay. All your 0, 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, D, all your notations, everything will be terminals. Only capital letters will be your non-terminals. Okay, so let's do one by one. So delta Q0 epsilon epsilon is equal to Q0 epsilon. Q0 epsilon S is equal to Q0 0 BB. Yeah. My second production rule, Q0 epsilon BE is equal to, it can either be 0S or it can be 1S or it can be 0 or. Okay, so I've done with all my productions. Now I need to do with all my poppings. You can either pop a 0 or you could pop a 1. So it will be Q0. If I encounter 0, I will pop. If I encounter a 1, I will